And today we're going to have a quick overview of Handicapping Pro. The first thing you're going to want to do is go to the website, handicappingpro.com. We do have free picks every day, and actually the free picks are very good. We've hit triactors and pick threes and all kinds of goodies, and usually the one I pick for the free pick comes out as a good profitable. First thing we're going to do is download the Handicapping Pro application. So you click on download the application here. If you already have previous install, if it's one of the R releases, that's fine. Just click on launch. It'll update to the latest version. If you have an old version, just go to add remove programs, uninstall it first, and then click the launch to install. If you haven't had Handicapping Pro on your computer at all, it does have some prerequisites like SQL Server. So click the install, but the important thing is, if you look down here, we want to save it instead of running it. And when you save it, it'll be setup.exe or setup, depending on your computer setup. You want to right click and run as administrator. That's very important. The modern computers, even if you're logged in as administrator, the install will not install correctly if you don't run as administrator. Okay, after it's installed, you want to start the program, and this is what it's going to look like. First thing we're going to do is we're downloading our race data, our data per race. You have to be a member of TrackMaster in order to get the current data files. So today it's Easter, actually, April 24th, 2011. So I'm Canadian. I want to run the Woodbine track today. So I'm going to download Woodbine. As soon as I click on that, it'll give me the available dates. I want the 24th. I'm going to download the selected data file. This is very important. You've got to log in. Like, it's going to ask you for your username and password. Say OK. In this particular case, I'm going to cancel because I do already have that file. Now, it's important. You want to save it in My Documents folder. Every computer, Windows computer, has like My Pictures, My Documents, My Movies. It's My Documents. You have to save it. That's where the program's going to look for the files. Okay, so after you've downloaded it, click refresh so that your computer will redraw a full list of all the applications you have. Now I'm going to look for Woodbine, the 24th, like WO, and there's the date, 2011, 0424. And then I'm going to process the file. Now this takes a little bit of time. I've got a pretty fast computer, so it's not going to take a long time on this one. But on an older computer or a slower computer, it can take a few minutes. What it's doing is figuring out its own early speed ratings, mid-speed ratings, the running styles of the horses. It's assigning all kinds of values. The program's looked at literally 1 million running lines of horses in the past, and it's comparing the horses running today with all the past performances. Right now it's creating early speed ratings. So this does take a few minutes. Shouldn't be too much longer. And the advantage of using this program is there's no other source that you can get that has that gives you a speed rating for the early part of a race and the mid part of the race. Okay, it's all done. So now, what you can do if it's a little before post time and they have released the scratches, you can like click on a horse and remove it so that it won't be computed in the race. So you can get rid of all the scratches that way. Now we're going to select race 1. We're going to click go. Now it's creating the race. It just takes a minute. Again, this is a very fast computer. On slower computers, can take longer. Now what I'm going to do is, this is a data grid. This is the morning line odds. This is the average odds the horse is raced for. This is earnings divided by 1,000. This is the average par rating the horse has run for. This is the speed rating. This is the speed rating of all the horse's good races, eliminating all the bad races. This is the horse's running style. The time off, like this horse raced 7 days ago and 149 days ago and 169 days ago. The workouts 10 days ago, 29 days ago. The current post position, the weight. You'll notice you can sort on any one of these fields. The age and sex, like 3-year-old gelding. Lifetime starts, so this horse has run twice and been in the win place show 0. Last finish for the distance. This is the average distance the horse has run for. If you see D, that means the horse has been in the money or won twice. Like this is D2. This horse has been in the money at this distance or won once. And this is a score based on 13 different factors like trainer and jockey and early speed position and running style, class. It will assign a score for the horse. Now there's a completely separate algorithm that actually scores a horse for placing. Like most systems figure out, okay, which horse is going to win. But this one also completely separately figures out which horse has the highest likelihood of placing. Often it's the same horse as the win horse, but that's very important if you're going to play exotic bets. Now, the way this lands, it's all black and white. If I'm going to print out on a black and white printer, I leave it like this. If I'm going to save it as a JPEG or print it on a color printer, I click on this little button down here that says color. And then I sort by anything. Usually, almost always, I sort by win. The win points. The system gives this horse 99 points, this one 93. That way I'm going to look at, this should be the winner, this should be the second horse, this should be the third horse. Now I'm going to look at the number of races. These are very lightly raced horses. 7, raced twice, raced 7. Normally what I would do, this is a long race, I would sort by routes only or sprints only. But this one I'm going to leave all distance. When I sort, it will recalculate. It'll eliminate all races not at the distance, like a long distance horse in a long distance race. Sometimes the trainer will enter it in a short race just to get its early speed up or something. So we're going to eliminate that from the speed figures. But on a maiden race, we leave everything, and we want as much data as possible. Now, what we can also do here is we can look at the trend charts. This shows you, like, the red is this horse raced 40 days ago. The red is the par, and the black is the finish. The pink line's the trend. These are lightly raced horses, so there's not much of a trend. Now I can click on any one of these and get a full detail of the horse. All their last races, every race they've done, the winner, or the trainer, and the jockeys' win, place, show percentages, lifetime records, last 3 works. This little trend chart shows distance, par, actual speeds. And you can also compare. If you're down to 2 horses, you can bring them both up and compare them side by side, or many horses, whatever. Now, also a very important thing for especially short races is the early speed. Okay, this says that look out for Freddie, the 3, and the Wydad, the 7, should have the early speed. The 3 will back off eventually, and Wydad will, in the mid position, gain. So when we watch the race, we'll see the 3 should have the early speed, and the 7 as well. And that's about it. We're ready to actually watch the race. So here's a replay of this particular race. And we'll put that up with the early speed chart.
They're at the post. They're off. Wide out from the outside, and now from the center of the gate. Look out for Freddie and Casual Reward under the wire for the first time. Look out for Freddie's eager out there on the front end. Casual Reward is second, trying to get closer to the rail now. His Surprise is Star, and Need You Now is down at the fence and 2.5 lengths off the lead. Then a Silk Fan and Wide Dat trailing early is Ganadar.
So the 3 is, as expected, has got the early speed. The 7's back a little more than what we thought. And now we're around the half, so this should be, Wide Dat should be catching up, and the others falling back.
Back to Casual Reward, and look out for Freddie is still fighting Patrick Husband's.
Now if you look here, what the system says is it says we should pick the 7 to win and do an exactor with the second horse, the 4. And you can bet tries or supers, whatever you like, but if I was betting this as a tractor, I bet 7 with the 3-4. I would definitely do a 7-4, because that's what the system says, and I'd do a 7 to win, especially since the 4 is the favorite. My system is picking a slightly longer shot. Okay, so 3 has still got the lead as expected. Our 7 is way back.
Second Need You Now is tailed off, and Wide Dat is coming with a spirited bit in that yellow cap out wide. Here comes Wide Dat to swallow up the speed, and it's Wide Dat on the outside, and to the inside.
So the system picked it to come 7-4-3, and guess what? It's going to come 7-4-3. So users of Handicapping Pro would have got the win horse. They'd have the first half of the daily double, the first half of the pick 3. They'd have the exactor and the triactor. And remember, the 7 was not the favorite. So the system picked a horse that wasn't the favorite, and that's how you win with Handicapping Pro.